that he had put her head on a shelf and screamed at it for an hour, threw darts at it, and ultimately smashed her face in. He also cut her tongue out and her larynx and put them in a garbage disposal.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
I'm nobody. I'm a bum. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine and a straight racer. If you get too close to me.
Do you ever feel violent?
Yes, I do.
What do you feel like doing?
Killing people.
You still feeling killing people?
Yes.
Describe the feeling that you get when you feel like killing people.
Well, last March 11th, I was hallucinating, and I took a razor blade and I cut a man's throat.
Here in the hospital?
Here in the hospital.
Do you think you'd murder me, Joe?
Yes.
That's gruesome, Joe. That's horrible.
Yes, it is.
And you don't blame me if I say I hope you never get out of this place.
I hope I never do either.
On December 22nd, 2002, in the small former mining village of Foudhouse, West Lothian, a mother stood in the aisle of her local supermarket. Her name was Sandra French, and she was desperate. Her 21-year-old son, Thomas McKendrick, had been missing for nearly 2 weeks. While pushing her trolley down the aisle, Sandra bumped into a young man she had known for years, a quiet, local 21-year-old named Alan Menzies. Menzies had been one of Thomas's closest childhood friends. Sandra asked him if she had seen him anywhere. Allan shook his head, completely calm, almost detached. Then, without shifting his tone or changing his expression, he looked at her and said, "Do you know the best way to get bloodstains out of carpet?" At the time, Sandra thought it was just a strange, out-of-place comment from an odd young man. She had no way of knowing that her son's lifeless body was currently buried under shallow mud in a nearby stretch of woods, or that Alan Menzies had killed him himself, drunk his blood, and convinced everyone that he was doing that to be granted eternal life.
Good evening. Good Saturday evening here to all you Murder Podcast Show fans. Welcome
Welcome in, guys.
to another fabulous Saturday here on the Murder Podcast Show. I, as always, am your host, and you may ask who I am.
Who are you? I am the architect.
Oh, I like that.
That's right. I am the architect. And alongside of me is my co-host, as always,
Criminology, Chris.
Hello, everybody, while I sit here and fix my headphones.
That's right, Mr. Criminology Chris. And alongside of Criminology Chris is the director of all of our social media platforms.
Time to check my social media, yeah. Who loves me online?
That's right, Classroom Jackie.
What's up, guys?
Give me a second here because I don't like that.
Everyone having a good weekend?
There we go. And also now, we have Unsafe Snuggie, who is the analyst, who is our moderator in the chat every single Saturday. That's right.
I'm Unsafe Snuggie. I will be your analyst for this evening. Please remember to be respectful in the comments, or you will be put in timeout. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I love that. That is really, really cool.
Oh,
that
shit.
is really cool. I liked that.
You're welcome, Unsafe. That's right. She is the analyst and the moderator in the chat. So behave in the chat, even though everybody does every week. Or you will be put into time out, and I don't know what that was.
I went to pull up our social medias and unfortunately played a video.
Unsafe approves. Starting with our sponsors. Do you need quality automotive repair and maintenance you can trust? Well, you're in luck because you can visit Mr. Wrenches of Akron, LLC. They are conveniently located across from the Derby Downs at 1175 George Washington Boulevard in Akron, Ohio. They offer fast service, friendly customer care, reliable repairs, honest and professional work. Whether you need routine maintenance or repairs, we're here to help keep you on the road. By appointment or walk-ins are welcomed. And when you give them a call, you can either ask for Gage or stop in there today. And we also have Crafty Corner by Laura. Crafty Corner by Laura makes a wide selection of handmade crochet plushies, both cute and creepy, animals, pop culture, fantasy, anime, and horror. They also specialize in custom orders like our voodoo doll out front of my monitors and all the other various custom orders in the studio. You can follow them on Instagram at the.crafty.corner.bylaura. And as I always tell you, it's not my job to tell you where the 3 dots go. Get over it.
If you got questions, reach out. I'll help you.
Let's head on over to Classroom Jackie for her 1 minute of murder segment.
Classroom Jackie's 1 minute of murder.
All right. So unfortunately, we did lose a follower on Instagram.
Oh, crap. Must have been the one that said I sound
Turn
like
it off.
putty.
I'm pretty sure it was, actually.
Oh, okay. Well,
So we're back to 44 on that. We did have a little bit of growth on our Facebook. We're at 168 there. Our YouTube is at 678. So 678. We're right in a row.
God.
Oh my. And last but not least, our TikTok is at 2,433 followers.
Heck yeah. We're climbing on the social media platforms.
Our views are our likes are over 4,000.
That's awesome. That is great. So, as always, we do tell you guys that we do appreciate it. Oh, I forgot I can do it over here. We do appreciate every week you guys always supporting it. And if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button here on the channel. And don't forget to click the little bell, notification bell. What that will do is that will notify you every week before we are going to go live. And we do appreciate all the support and everyone that may not listen in every week that listens on all the streaming platforms. I haven't checked the numbers on those in a couple of days, but last time I did check, total streams on all the platforms, not including here, is like almost 5,000 or something like that. So that is fantastic.
Holy cow.
And I forget where we are trending at right now. That's like 20% listeners. I will have to look again, but yes,
we'll share
it's
that
like
later this evening or tomorrow.
70-some% United States, and the remaining amount is in this other country. Okay, so tonight we are going to, it's our season finale of season 2, episode 30 here, mid-season, sorry. And we are going to wrap up our copycat killers tonight.
And then jump into something intense.
Yes. So this guy here is, if some of you may have seen in a flick back in the day called Queen of the Damned, it is a vampire movie. Never seen it myself, but I've heard really good things about it. This is a guy that was really obsessed with that movie big time, and I will put him up on the screen. He looks like a creep. I wouldn't get in a van with him. And his name is Mr. Alan Menzies. That's right. And he was obsessed with the Queen of the Damned, okay? To the point to where you will find out tonight what he did. He looks like a winner. He really does. You can tell in those eyes that he hasn't slept in probably a few months.
Vampires don't sleep.
He's very
you know
pale.
What? I screwed that up. You're right.
Maybe he sleeps during the daytime. I don't know.
Does
They
he-
got him out during the daytime, and he's not doing well.
Well, they're supposed to sleep during the daytime. They're out at night. But if you're a day walker, you sleep at night.
So, a good old day, the day walkers.
Someone displaced his coffin, and he has nowhere.
Somebody displaced his coffin.
It's under his bed.
Well, now, yeah, it's over in Scotland now, right?
Yes.
Yep, that is very true. So, What was I going to do? Okay. So we will begin in a quiet town here. That's right. To understand how this tragedy unfolded, we have to look at Fauldhouse, West Lothian. Is that how it is?
Lothian?
Yeah, Lothian, located roughly between Edinburgh and Glasgow. Fauldhouse is a tight-knit Scottish village with a rich industrial history built on coal mining and quarrying. By late 2002, like many former industrial towns, it was a quiet, modest place where everyone knew everyone's business. Winter is a stretch. Yeah, that is true. Winter on that guy is a very big stretch. Can you folks add closed captioning for the hearing impaired, please? Yeah, I will.
Actually, I will actually take that upon myself to sign everything that you say.
So,
don't do that.
That might be a good thing to do, though.
David, what I can do, because I would have to look into it on my end, on YouTube, if you're watching on your television, it's going to be on your far right-hand side, and you'll see it. It just says CC. Click that, and it should automatically bring those captions
If
up.
it doesn't bring it up, you might have to hit the settings button that's on the screen and click it there, and it should be in there.
Yeah, but I will look at it on my studio software and see what I can do.
Or maybe we can get one of those little people in the little screen down at the bottom left-hand corner that just signs things. That would be nice. Only in America, everybody.
We could try.
But yes, we will see what we can do. That's usually what I do when I watch court trial. I know, shocker, I like court. Anyways, that's usually what I do when I can't hear when they're talking is I hit the CC in the far right corner. But
I won't lie, I watch, other than music, I watch anything off of YouTube with closed captioned on.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah. Well, Chris, you're getting old, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
My turn.
It happens.
Alan Menzies grew up in Fauldhouse. By all accounts, as a child, he was somewhat quiet, but not inherently terrifying to those around him. However, as he transitioned into young adulthood, people noticed he was becoming increasingly withdrawn. By 2002, he was 22 years old, unemployed, and had previously worked briefly as a security guard. He lived mostly in isolation inside his house, spending hours alone in his bedroom.
Sorry, I was looking into how to do the closed captioning for that. And that isolation became the breeding ground for a severe consuming obsession. In early 2002, the Hollywood film
adaptation
of Anne Rice's novel Queen of the Damned was released in cinemas and subsequently on home video. The movie starred the late R&B singer, how is Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
Yeah, Aaliyah as Akasha, an ancient vampire queen who demands worship, dominance, and blood. Thank you, YouTube says not available. I figured out how to do it on here, David, but it'll have to be next week because I have to download an extension software to run off of my studio. So I will be sure to have that for you next week. I'm sorry that I don't right now.
When we publish it too after it's live, you should be able to turn on closed captions when you rewatch it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, for most people, Queen of the Damned was just another supernatural horror thriller. But for Alan Menzies, the film became an all-encompassing religion. Court documents later revealed that Menzies watched the movie at least 100 times in the months leading up to December 2002. He didn't just watch it, he memorized every frame, studied the dialogue, and immersed himself in vampire lore. I mean, I know I did that with animated movies when I was a kid, and I could quote them word for word, but I was not that obsessed.
See, vampires is thing that I liked a lot of, movies. And what's it? The Lost Boys was pretty good. I didn't see like all of it, but my mom growing up said that she liked Dracula and that kind of stuff.
Lost Boys was really good.
So his obsession expanded into Anne Rice's books, specifically Blood and Gold. His bedroom turned into a shrine to the occult. He began dressing in dark gothic clothing. Withdrawal turned into total reclusion, and his conversations with acquaintances began revolving entirely around blood, immortality, and supernatural power.
And this wasn't just passive fandom. Forensic psychiatrists who later evaluated Menzies noted that his internal fantasy world was rapidly eclipsing his perception of reality. Menzies began claiming that the character of Queen Akasha wasn't just a fictional movie character. He claimed she was visiting him in his bedroom at night.
No, that doesn't sound good.
Neat.
According to Menzies, Akasha spoke directly to him. She made a proposition: if he killed another human being and offered up their life, she would grant him eternal life and transform him into a vampire.
I'm sorry, but at what point do you say, hey, I might have a problem that I need help?
Well, I mean, yeah, you might have some... I don't even know if that would be schizophrenia. Well, yeah, because you're hearing.
And hallucinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris.
No, I don't even know about the schizophrenia call. I mean, they
Well, yeah.
found out down the road that he did not have any mental disorders or whatever. But, I mean, who knows if he did?
Yeah.
He very well could have, but I don't know that that would necessarily be it. But he was like 21-ish. I mean, usually that's around the time
21.
that sort of thing kicks in, but they beg to differ. So.
Need some WD-40 for this friggin' chair.
Menzies later testified in court to what he believed Akasha told him. He said, quote, "At the end of the day, I knew I would have to murder somebody anyway. If you did not murder somebody, you could not become a vampire." He believed he was chosen, and he was actively waiting for the right moment to execute his end of the bargain.
Enter Thomas McKendrick. Thomas was 21 years old, well-liked in Fauldhouse, and had been friends with Menzies for years. Thomas was one of the few people who still visited Allan's home regularly, despite Allan's increasingly eccentric and bizarre behavior. Do people become so immersed that they can't tell real from fantasy? That's a good question. That is a really good question. I don't know. I mean, I would think that when people get to a certain point, they might, because they kind of get into their own world.
Well, I think he created his own world. Like you said, he was reclusive. He, similar to the one we did last week, we talked about it, like these people that isolate themselves for an extended period of time or throughout their life and have like a social anxiety sort of disorder and just don't want to be around others and sit in a basement their whole life and watch movies. I mean,
yeah,
I guess it becomes your reality, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Just,
that was just like the guy last week.
Yeah. I think this is very similar because this guy was very much the same. He was very, very isolated.
Yeah. That is a good question, though.
Yeah, and guys, if you have any questions that you think of during this that you want to ask Criminology Chris when it's his fun little Inside the Mind, let us know.
She's throwing Mr. Crim Chris on the spot.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do there.
On Wednesday, December 11th, 2002, Thomas walked over to Allan's house on standard terms. Just two friends hanging out. They were in Allan's living room watching television and chatting. But given Allan's fixations, the conversation inevitably drifted back to the Queen of the Damned.
What happened next was triggered by something astonishingly trivial on the surface, but deeply volatile. I was thinking of like freaking Ukrainian right there. Volatile. Inside Menzies' warped mindset. During their talk, Thomas made an insulting, derogatory remark about the character of Akasha and the movie itself. Oh, God. That's going to set him off.
To a rational mind, it was harmless banter between friends about a movie. But to Alan Menzies, Akasha was his deity, his mentor, and his key to immortality. To insult Akasha was to insult the entity he believed was promising him power. Menzies later stated that when Thomas spoke ill of her, something inside him snapped.
Menzies left the room briefly and retrieved weapons he had stockpiled in his house, a heavy claw hammer and a large Bowie knife.
That's like the knife from Idaho 4, from Koberger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
now,
that knife.
A hammer, I mean, they say, weapons he had stockpiled. A hammer's not a weapon you stockpile.
Well, you've seen a claw hammer, like how
Yeah,
sharp those
but-
are.
Yeah, but most people have tools.
Yeah, most people, that's what I'm getting. They make it sound like he's got a room full of like some guns and shit like that,
Right.
But
Yeah, I
anyways,
don't know what you'd call my garage if tools are weapons.
I am gonna, on that note, move on because
What followed was an attack of unimaginable brutality. Menzies launched himself at Thomas without warning. He struck Thomas in the head with the hammer at least 10 times, fracturing his skull and disabling him. As Thomas lay defenseless on the carpet, Menzies pulled out the Bowie knife.
forensic pathologists later documented that Thomas McKendrick was stabbed a total of 42 times across his torso, neck, and face. The violence was relentless.
And as horrific as the physical assault was, the post-mortem ritual Menzies carried out was far more terrifying. Once Thomas was dead, Menzies remembered his pact. He cut into Thomas's body, caught the flowing blood in a small cup, and drank it.
He didn't stop there. In statements later
Corroborated.
Yes, by physical evidence and his own confessions. Menzies actually admitted that he ate part of his friend's head and brain tissue. In his mind, consuming his friend's flesh and blood wasn't just murder. It was a ritualistic sacrifice to seal his transformation into a vampire.
I guarantee all the people watching us right now just saw the look on my face when my face went like,
Oh my, if anybody just came in on that part, they'll be like, wow, okay, we're starting
welcome to
out
the
here.
show.
We're starting out. That is wild.
Right?
That is kind of like the guy last week a little bit there
Yeah,
with
once again,
eating part of him.
You got to make the assumption he was suffering from something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to like start eating the skull, it's like, holy crap. Anyways.
Yeah.
In the immediate aftermath of the killing, Alan Menzies didn't panic. He didn't flee the country, nor did the call... Did I skip a part? Nope.
Nope.
Nor did he call emergency services. Instead, he systematically worked to cover up the crime.
He took Thomas's body, wrapped it, and loaded it into a standard wheelie dustbin from his yard. Under the cover of dark, winter Scottish night, Menzies wheeled the bin down the street to a wooden area known locally as the Pokement Woods, or nearby local thickets.
There, he dragged the body out of the wheelie bin and buried Thomas McKendrick in a crude, shallow grave, covering the body with soil, leaves, and debris before returning home to clean his living room.
Meanwhile, back in Fauldhouse, Thomas's parents, Sandy French, and her husband were frantic. Thomas hadn't returned home. In a small town, a young man vanishing without a word sets off immediate alarm bells. His family filed a missing persons report with Lothian and Borders Police, initiating localized searches.
Now, see, this is interesting because here in the U.S., you have to wait 24 hours before you report it unless it is a child.
48.
48 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 days.
It's been 48 for a while. Yeah.
That was...
Even with a kid, it's not immediate.
Well, yeah, they have so many situations where people come back home or kids run away.
Yeah.
Or...
Yep.
Well, I mean, like, I know if it's under a certain age, you can report it within a couple hours of the child missing, especially little kids.
Well, that would be probably like, baby or something because
baby, toddler,
what do they call
like
it when they send out those alerts on the phones?
Amber alerts.
Yeah.
Amber alerts, yeah. Those are immediate.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's different in each state, but that's how it is here in good old Ohio.
That brings us back to that chilling encounter in the supermarket we mentioned in our opening. 11 days after the murder, while police and community members were searching for Thomas Menzies, ran into Sandra French.
I was just looking that up. So there is no waiting period required to report someone missing. You can and should call law enforcement immediately if you believe a person is in danger or out of touch. Now, the vital window, the first 24 to 48 are the most critical times to find missing person, gather flesh evidence, and witness accounts. and clearing myths too, and vulnerable individuals. So, wow, I guess you don't have to wait now.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. You were.
I can read it if you want.
No, I was. Oh wait, Sandra French, right?
Yep.
Okay. Sandra later recalled how eerie composed Menzies was. He spoke softly, showed zero emotion, and expressed no concern that his best friend was missing. And then came that jarring question and removing bloodstains from the carpet. Sandra was so overwhelmed with grief and worry about her son that the comment didn't fully register as an admission of guilt until weeks later, but it left a cold knot in her stomach.
During those 6 weeks between the murder and the discovery of the body, Menzies continued living in his house as if nothing extraordinary had happened. He went about his daily routine, convinced that he had successfully secured his immortality and that the police would never catch on.
What are you over there giggling about?
He had successfully secured his immortality.
Yeah. He thought he got away with it.
You know what a wheelie bin is over in Britain in that area?
It's a wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow, right?
Oh, no, it's a trash can.
It's a trash can.
It's a trash can. You know what show taught me that? Bluey.
Oh, okay.
See, I think I got it from Top Gear.
Yeah, Bluey calls it the
Yeah.
wheelie bin.
Wheelie bin.
Because they used to have wheelie night. Which night the bins went out is one of the episodes they talk about them.
See? Yeah. Well, most people would think wheelbarrow in the States, though.
They would.
Do you know what I want to do right now?
What?
I'd like to play a game. And that's right. I think it is time
for
Murder Trivia on the Murder Podcast Show. That's right. Every Saturday, we ask you a series of 3 to 4 questions. And if you get it right, that's awesome. And at the end, we tally up who is the winner. And your prize is absolutely fucking nothing. That's right. You don't win a damn thing on the Murder Trivia Show.
0 is better.
So
you just get bragging rights for a little bit.
Let's go ahead and cue it in over here. And, things and stuff. Your first question is, okay, on Murder Trivia. David, there's no universal weighting rule, contrary common myth. U.S. does not require. Yes, that is correct, Mr. David. Question number 1.
AKA Google.
Google, yeah.
Google.
The musical artist that starred in The Queen of the Damned was Aaliyah in 1996. What was her hit song that reached number 1 on the charts? Okay, you have A, Back Dat Ass Up, B, Total Eclipse of the Heart, C, 1 in a Million, or D, Remember When?
I totally think it's D.
D is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
You are right. It is a great song.
All of those are good songs.
Yeah, well, that's true. You know, Juvenile, even Back the Ass Up. That was a mid-90s banger.
Would you stop?
Also, if you guys see Tim laughing a lot, it's because we've been trying to make him laugh the whole day.
Yeah.
And we've been winning.
You haven't been around the whole day.
Hey, we've been trying to... No, listen. I'm not going down there, okay? Focus here. The ADHD's getting out of hand. We're not at Walmart shopping.
Where's our music to guess?
I can't find it, okay?
Oh, close.
B. David says B, Total Eclipse of the Heart. That's right. The musical artist that starred in The Queen of the Damned was Aaliyah in 1996. What was her hit song that reached number 1 on the charts? Unsafe says C, 1 in a Million. Okay? And the answer is, because I don't have she's my fave. All right.
Okay.
I will keep that in mind. Does that mean I have to take you to one of her shows?
Let's
make it happen. Why? Is she
She's
dead?
dead.
Oh, shit. This got awkward real quick.
Crash, dude.
Hun, I'm sorry that I told you I would take you to a dead person show. I apologize for that.
I like the Leah as well.
The answer is C, 1 in a Million. So Unsafe, you got it right. You are 1 question closer to winning absolutely fucking nothing. Question number 2. What was the first hit vampire movie to be on the silver screen? She's not here. What was the first hit vampire movie to be on the silver screen? A, Queen of the Damned. B, Nosferatu. Is that right, Chris?
Yes.
C, Dracula. Or D, Van Helsing?
Ooh.
I had that friggin' Jeopardy shit in here. Now I don't know what I did with it. You son of a...
Do do do
Stop.
do do do.
Hey. There we go. Now it's back. What was the first hit vampire movie to be on the silver screen? A, Queen of the Damned. B, Nosferatu. C, Dracula. Or D, Van Helsing? This is the better one, the longer one. I need to add this to my schedule here. Alrighty, everybody. The answer is B, Nosferatu in 1922. David,
Way to go, David.
you had it right. David, you are one question closer. One question closer. Question number 3. What serial killer in 1977 would drink victims' blood to prevent his own body from turning to powder?
Ooh.
A, Billy Bob Thornton. B, Victor Starr. C, H.H. Holmes. Or D, Richard Chase?
Oh, I don't know. I'm curious. People could see us in this the Rocky that you used to.
That would happen in California. California, where many serial killers originated.
Alrighty, folks. Here we go. Nobody has any answers. They want to take a stab at this? Serial killer in 1977
Can I
who would
guess?
drink
Because
their
I
blood.
actually don't know this.
Go ahead.
I think it's C, H.H. Holmes.
All right, and the answer is D, Richard Chase.
Really?
David, you got it the last minute, or last second, I should say. All right, here's our fourth.
Oh, that's cool.
Fourth and final question. What star got one of his first big roles as a teenage vampire in a 1987 film? A, Kiefer Sutherland. B, Tom Cruise. C, Brad Pitt. Or D, Gary Coleman. Or old man.
You did it again anyway.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da!
Gary Oldman, not Gary Coleman. That's fun. Fun stuff.
What you talking about, Willis? David says, hey. Unsafe. I know you're in there. Take a stab at this.
We gotta find a rock version of Jeopardy.
Here we go. What star got one of his first big roles as a teenage vampire in a 1987 film? The answer is A, Kiefer Sutherland in The Lost Boys.
Wow, okay.
David, congratulations. You are the winner tonight of absolutely fucking nothing on the Murder Trivia Show here on the Murder Podcast Show. That's right. On your way out the door, David, be sure to stop and see the front desk, and they will have your prize. Thank you, everybody, for playing another week here on the Murder Trivia on the Murder Podcast Show. Woohoo!
Huh.
Anyways, let me...
Get some blood moving that.
It literally does every time.
Yeah.
What you talking about,
Nosferatu? Oh, that's a cool drink. If you mix Nosferatu and Christmas Ale from Great Lakes Brewing, it's called The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I like that. That's cool.
All right. It's my turn, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Police immediately raided Alan Menzies' home.
Whoop.
What they...
Too fast.
Back it up.
Thanks. Yeah, that's great.
We are
By-
currently at that.
By mid-January 2003, police investigations began focusing heavily on Thomas McKendrick's last known movements. Excuse me. Witnesses confirmed that on December 11th, Thomas had stated he was going to visit Alan Menzies.
On January 18th, 2003, more than 5 weeks after Thomas disappeared, a police search team accompanied by search dogs scoured the wooded area near Fald House underneath layers of frozen dirt and pine needles. They discovered the remains of Thomas McKendrick.
Police immediately raided Alan Menzies' home. What they found inside confirmed the horrific nature of the crime. Forensic teams found traces of blood deeply embedded in the living room floorboards despite cleaning efforts. On his shelves, they seized a copy of The Queen of the Damned DVD and Anne Rice's novel, Blood and Gold.
Inside the pages of that book, officers discovered handwritten scrawls by Menzies. In one passage he had written, quote, "I have chosen to become a vampire. The blood is the life. I have drunk the blood, and it shall be mine, for I have seen the horror."
Menzies was taken into custody without resistance. But it was his behavior while in police transit that truly stunned veteran officers. Detective Constable Robert Lowe later testified about a conversation he had with Menzies in the back of the police vehicle on January 22nd.
Excuse me.
Are we that boring?
Do we make you
No.
tired? Every week is a lot
Jeez.
of
Fighting
yawning.
A burp. I'm sorry.
A burp leads to yawn.
According to D.C. Lowe, Menzies calmly turned to the officer and asked, "How do you think things will go today? I'm going to get 20 to 25 for this, for doing him with a hammer and my Bowie knife, but I got his soul."
D.C. Lowe immediately cautioned him, but Menzies kept speaking in a quiet matter-of-fact tone. He told the officers, quote, "I drank his blood and ate a bit of his head. There was blood everywhere, and I buried him up the woods." When asked how he transported the body, he simply replied, "In my wheelie bin."
D.C. Lowe told the court he was left horror-struck by how completely lacking in remorse or emotion Menzies was. He wasn't bragging, he wasn't crying, and he wasn't agitated. He discussed butchering his best friend as if he were recounting what he had eaten for breakfast.
In September 2003, the trial of Alan Menzies opened at the High Court in Edinburgh. Edinburgh, that's fine. That's all the same in the end. Eat a bowl of cereal, eat a banana, it's all the same. The defense did not deny that Menzies had killed Thomas McKendrick, nor did they dispute the gruesome details of the act.
Instead, the legal battle centered almost entirely on his mental state. The defense entered a plea of guilty to culpable homicide on the grounds of diminished responsibility. They argued that Menzies was suffering from severe mental illness, delusional psychosis, and hallucinations, that he generally believed the vampire queen had commanded him to kill.
The Crown, however, rejected this plea outright, insisting that Menzies was guilty of full, premeditated murder. The prosecution called 3 independent forensic psychiatrists to evaluate Menzies.
Their findings were crucial. All 3 psychiatrists agreed that Alan Menzies suffered from a severe psychopathic personality disorder. However, under Scottish law at the time, is that psychopathy?
Yes?
Psychopathy alone did not constitute a mental illness that neglected criminal responsibility. The experts testified that while Menzies had an intense fantasy life, he fully understood the physical nature and moral wrongfulness of his actions. He knew murder was illegal, he took active steps to cover it up, and he chose to kill anyway.
Yeah. On October 8th, 2003, after a 7-day trial, the jury of 6 men and 9 women deliberated and returned a unanimous verdict, guilty of murder.
The presiding judge, Lord Roderick MacDonald, QC, handed down a sentence of life imprisonment, setting a minimum tariff of 18 years before parole eligibility could even be considered.
Lord MacDonald?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not even going to go there. Closing remarks to Menzies were searing. He addressed the killer directly, stating, "In my opinion, you are an evil, violent, and highly dangerous man who is not fit to be at liberty. You subjected Thomas McKendrick to a savage and merciless attack. You totally lack remorse."
Alan Menzies was sent to HM Prison Shots in Lincolnshire to begin serving his sentence. But his story ended abruptly just over a year later. On November 15th, 2004, prison officers found then 23-year-old Menzies dead in his cell. He had taken his own life. So much for wanting to be immortal.
Yeah, right. Menzies' death meant he never served his full sentence, but for the family of Thomas McKendrick, the tragedy left a permanent scar. His mother, Sandra French, spoke out after the trial about the horrific details that emerged in court, expressing that no parent should ever have to hear how their own child was sacrificed to satisfy someone else's delusion.
The case of Alan Menzies remains one of the most unsettling examples in modern British criminology history. It raised heavy questions about media influence, social isolation, and severe personality disorders. While tabloid headlines quickly labeled Menzies the vampire killer, the reality behind the sensationalism was much darker. An isolated young man whose psychopathy mutated a pop culture film into an absolute deadly license to murder.
Thomas McKendrick was a young man with his whole life ahead of him, whose only mistake was maintaining a friendship with someone who had quietly lost all connection to human empathy. Yeah, that's a lot.
It is.
There's a lot of stuff going on there.
I'm sorry, but to be that deep into a movie that you become obsessed and you want to become immortal and you want to do all of that, no.
Yeah. No, thank you.
At what point do his parents, should his family have realized that he had an issue?
Now listen, I'm a huge Marvel, Spider-Man fan, as most people can probably tell by my chair. But I'm not out there trying to shoot webs and jump from roof to roof. I'm just not doing it.
Hysterical.
I'm not doing it.
No, I wouldn't give that a whack.
Unsafe, would you be okay with that if I was Spider-Man on the side shooting webs and stuff?
Everybody gets water.
Yeah, jumping roof to roof. You guys come out of your house and I'm... What the hell is he doing?
Why is he on the roof?
Spider-Man.
Do we have a net?
Oh, shit. Yeah, this is...
It is pretty incredible.
We are going to, and actually, David, you were not here last week. We have a new segment at the end of every episode now. And David will like this because he likes to get, we'll talk later because no.
Unsafe, I'll help you with that.
Deal. But anyways, David, we have a new segment here that we do at the end of the show to kind of wrap things up. This is with Criminology Chris. So we are going to head over to that now, and this is called Inside the Mind with Criminology Chris.
Honestly looking at, his history, did we even talk about his childhood?
No, not really.
No.
Even in preparation, we didn't talk about, at a young age, this guy had been, I think at 14 years old, I think he was isolated or put in a unit for stabbing a school pupil.
At 14?
Yeah, at
Holy
14 years old.
cow.
And apparently he had also been sentenced to 3 years in detention for assaulting a 13-year-old boy. They said a severe injury. But he had a history of...
Jeez.
This guy had a history of violence from the get-go prior to his being enamored by a movie,
Yeah.
to the point where he decided to try and replicate the whole thing. Like you said, I think it was funny that he went and hung himself in prison. And did they encase him in concrete when they buried him? Because
Walking red flag.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Just a tiny bit.
he might have come back. He might be walking the earth.
Oh
still.
God. We're gonna have people freaking out
The
now.
fact that he so the fact that he wanted that movie so badly and he wanted to be immortal, to drink the blood, to do all that, and just off himself is stupid.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't even see that many people trying to replicate, like you were saying, you don't even see that many people trying to jump off of buildings and shoot webs at trees or
Yeah.
pretend they're Superman. Like, I pretended I was Superman when I was a kid, and I jumped down a flight of stairs. It did not go well.
I was gonna say, how'd that work out?
Yeah, it did not go well.
David, do not jump in with any stories. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
But honestly, like, you know, throughout his trial, they you know, they had professionals in there that argued that he was not schizophrenic or mentally ill at the time of
Mhm.
you know, the actual murder itself.
He just had like an
So-
like an obsession.
Well, yeah, it just it
It
makes
spiraled.
it makes you wonder exactly what that does to a person. The isolation. I mean, there had to be something going on.
Yeah.
You know, even at a young age, to stab another kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Did he have any other friends besides this Thomas kid that he killed?
Once again, I don't think it went heavily. I couldn't find any information that went heavily into his
Yeah,
childhood.
that's why we
His-
didn't touch on
They
it.
said that I pretended to be many people and jumped off a roof with my umbrella. Oh my!
Yeah. see?
Now, okay,
All right.
hon, you never told me this story. We're gonna need to talk later now after we talk about me being Spider-Man.
I used to jump off my front porch steps with the umbrella because I wanted to be Mary Poppins.
And there were some people that were argumentative and pissed because they said that this was a display of how the court system would not take mental illness into account and take it seriously when dealing with people that had committed heinous crimes.
Uh-huh.
And I get that to a degree, but at the same time, you can't just blame everything on mental illness either.
Oh my God, David. Oh my God.
I mean,
See, the kid, yes,
that
yes,
led to
see?
your wrestling career, okay?
So I take it back, I guess. Many people have actually tried to replicate superhero movies.
Hold on. I thought I was
Listen, us cancers try.
okay. So with that
Yeah.
case, and my dad knows about this story. When we lived in a house in West Virginia, there was a little section of roof outside of my window, and I took sheets and I tied them, and I thought I could swing on it like a vine from the Jungle Book.
Oh, well, I've done a lot of that. Usually it worked out, though.
It did not work out.
Did it?
There was a brick ground
Yeah.
underneath of me.
Well, I didn't use sheets. I used a rope.
I tried to reenact reading
David, do you
Rainbow
remember
once.
coming home and seeing the sheets there, and I tried to run away as fast as I could to not get caught?
I tried to reenact reading Rainbow in my living room naked once, but
That would be very,
no, I'm just kidding. I really didn't.
very boring and awkward for you to read a book. Did you set up a camera?
Oh,
This was back in the day, dude. There
Wow.
was no cameras.
yes, there
Yeah.
was.
There
It was
was
a
a
giant
giant-
one, like this
Yeah.
big.
Who is that guy? LeVar Burton?
Unsafe's gonna be like, we need to talk now.
He was in
Yeah,
Star Trek.
right.
My dad, he remembers that.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you know, there's not a whole lot to talk about in regards to what this guy, his motives for what he did, because I think it really wasn't too well understood. And I don't know that it was necessarily all that well investigated. I mean, unless there were additional information that we are not. capable of
Yeah.
getting our hands on.
Also, the Scottish and British court system is completely different from us. They get things
Yeah.
done extremely fast. There's no backup of cases. There's no
Yeah.
things like that. Everything is done within 6 months to a year of the arrest.
Isn't it crazy how here that murder trials and stuff take like
6
three
years.
to 4
Carries
years?
on. Yeah.
And it's like,
the
oh.
appeals processes and all this stuff.
but yet they'll do something basic ones like couple of the judges I listened to, I know Shocker Court, is they take care of stupid ones really fast,
Yeah,
like
Mhm.
push them right through
traffic and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
They'll take care of that in like a month.
I also think, like, compared to here where we have juries and we have one judge giving the penalty, like the sentencing, if it's death or anything like that, I believe in England, and I'm probably wrong with this, but I believe it has to go to whoever the king or queen is at the time for approval to have them put to death.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe that's true. I know there's a couple cases where that's happened.
I have no idea if that's real. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you used to be a king, Chris. Well, that's ruined. Thanks.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me look.
Anyways, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, but anyway, as I was saying, it's kind of hard to tell why this guy did what he did. He obviously had a history of violence to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe something happened in his childhood that, once again, is not being disclosed here.
Yeah.
But they said he wasn't mentally ill. I still find it hard. I mean, even when you go to prison, I mean, it takes a certain mindset in order to be able to pull the trigger on killing yourself in prison, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's something. I mean, something had to cause him to cross that line between an obsession to taking it overboard.
Yeah, to actually the avoidance of reality. Like the intentional avoidance of reality and the commitment to being engulfed and just immersing yourself into a fictional anything.
Yeah.
It screams that, like, whatever reality you had was not going well for you.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, I just had a fan reach out and ask a quick question. They have family members who are a little bit younger who like to watch the show and want to know what kind of rating we would give. Would it be like PG-13 or like R?
This was a random fan?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on
the maturity level.
It depends on what we're covering.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's R, and I always put when I create these that it's not, suitable for kids because I have to choose that. Yeah, it just depends on what we're covering.
And the case and stuff.
The next 2 weeks, no.
Yeah, quite
absolutely not.
Quite honestly, I think the bulk of what we do on a regular basis, I would not suggest to anybody that they,
Do we know the ages of the kids? Did
over 14.
Well,
ultimately that's their parent.
Yeah, I think
that's their parents' call.
I think it's a maturity thing too. If they want to sit there and listen, or if it's something like, no, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we have a kid, and has he watched a rated R movie and he's not 18? Yes.
Has he been put in timeout from this show before by the analyst? Absolutely.
And that was the funniest thing ever.
Oh my God.
But some things it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, you may have a kid that can watch violence and decide not to try and replicate it and try to drink blood, know.
Yeah.
Or,
It's really going to be a preference up to the parents and stuff like that.
Right.
Are they listening right now, the fan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's really up to them. So, Anyways,
that's all I got.
That was
not a lot this week.
Inside the Mind with Criminology Chris. Chris loves that.
Oh, I do.
He fucking loves it.
I do.
He's got like the best sounds on the damn show.
I love that show. It's so good.
Oh my God. So, so yeah, that is it for this week on who we are covering. The next 2 weeks I will put out a thing now. The next 2 weeks are going to be pretty intense. I watched the whole entire trial. I know, shocker. When it was happening, it just recently happened too, the trial. And it's very extensive, and I want to dive deep into a lot of this, and without covering gruesome details, but we are going to be covering the Athena Strand murder. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Once again, we're not going to get into the graphic details with it, but I have reached out to the Freedom of Information Act, and they have responded back, and they are sending information along with the FBI. So I have a lot of stuff coming this way, from police reports, body cam footage, all kinds of stuff. I want to dive deep into the criminal mind of this too, and this will be a big one with Chris too, and a lot of the trial too. I really want to dive into this deep. This guy had a huge mental disorder that was sickening and absolutely messed up. Tanner is his name. But anyway, so that'll be the next 2 weeks. I'm going to break that down into 2 weeks because there's too much for us to cover in 1 week with that.
And again, we're not going to touch the details of what actually happened to her.
Yes, correct.
Out of respect for the family.
Yeah, we're not going to touch that stuff. But that's why I was stating if they have kids that want to listen, I would not recommend it for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and if you have a hard time with kid cases, I would recommend not listening in. So we've had quite a few fans, from my understanding, that have reached out to Classroom Jackie asking her if we are going to cover that. So I decided to cover it.
Yeah, we were on the fence about this one, but it's been such a big case, and we figured out how exactly we want to do it, so we're going to go ahead and move on.
I made a what do they call it? I made a management decision.
Yep.
To do. Did that sound professional enough, Chris?
It's an executive decision.
An executive decision, yes. And my co-host, I didn't ask him. I'm just going to be upfront with you. I didn't ask him. I probably should have, though, because he's my co-host. But
I kind of go along with things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just,
So anyways, though, guys, we do appreciate you listening in. As always, please follow, like, subscribe, share all of our social media platforms.
We'll be really hard-hitting and promoting these next 2 weeks. So if you guys could share our stuff when you see our posts, that would be an awesome help to help us grow as well.
Yes. And if you ever have any questions or want to know anything absolutely at all with cases or anything with the show, please feel free to reach out to Classroom Jackie at murdershow66@gmail.com, and she will respond to you in a timely manner.
It's just murdershow66.
No, I said murdershow66@gmail.com.
You said at murdershow66.
I said
hashtag.
Because I said you can meet. Take us out of here.
Same crime time, same crime place.
Good night, everybody, for
Bye,
fuck's sake.
guys.
Goodbye.